second book in publication order for Ian M. Banks' Culture series is, of course, The Player of Games, which I thought was an improvement from Consider Phlebas, but I still think people are way too hard on that book. But yes, The Player of Games. Here we follow Jernau Gurge. Culture citizens have incredibly long names, which I will spare you from here for simplicity's sake. Also my own sanity. But he's mainly called Jernau Gurge. Gurge is the titular player of games. In the post-scarcity civilization of the culture, one can do with their time whatsoever they want. And Gurge is a master game player of all sorts. He's famous among circles that follow such things, though he isn't fond of traveling beyond the orbital where he lives. An orbital is like a custom geography, sort of artificial world. A series of misadventures with a surly former special circumstances drone lead him into being recruited by the culture's contact division to play a game Gurge has never seen before. A game run by the Empire of Azad, a minor spacefaring civilization outside the culture. A game that can decide minor things like government or military postings, or who will be the next emperor. A game that Gurge may not survive. I'm trying to make the premise sound more interesting than it otherwise might, but it's all in the execution. And the book really delivers on that execution. We follow Jernau Gurge almost exclusively throughout the book. And while I have to say on paper he's not the most interesting protagonist, I was never bored following his exploits. Part of that is just how well-rounded his characterization is, part of it's the quality of Banks' writing. And part of it's the supporting characters Gurge is bouncing off throughout the book. Let's talk about drones for a minute. There was a drone in Consider Phlebas, and it was an okay side character. But here, Banks really starts to explore the idea of drones as major characters. In this book, we get 2 or 3. Mawrin Skell is the first one we meet, a thoroughly unpleasant drone decommissioned from special circumstances, and never quite recovered. He plays a small but overall very pivotal role in Gurge's journey. Chamlis Amalkne is a very old drone, long retired, and lives alone in an apartment and feeds his fish when he's not hanging out with his good friend Gurge. While Gurge doesn't seem to have long-term success in romantic endeavors, many of his former lovers have become men after breaking up with him, he and Chamlis have as close a relationship as any two humans would have. It really helps to ground and legitimize the drones as capital P persons in this setting. The most important drone, though, is the second main character of the book, and Gurge's culture-assigned companion on this journey, Flair Imsaho. They're not impressed with each other, though Flair Imsaho definitely understands and believes in Gurge's skill set. They need each other, they're stuck together for the duration, they make the best of it. If you're enjoying this video, why not buy my book? Flight of the Pangolin is the story of an intrepid group of heroes who decide to exit the solar system over the objections of an isolationist faction. There's actually a lot more going on than that. There's space pirates, a giant spider for no reason, all kinds of other things. Buy it now online wherever you buy books or at our website, www.thepangolinrepublic.com. You can also get fun t-shirts and random other stuff if you want. The humanoid people of the Empire of Azad have 3 sexes, and there will be a test on this, so do take notes. Males, females, and the dominant apex sex. If you want to understand the mechanics, you'll just have to read the book. I am not a sex ed for aliens channel. Most of the Azadi characters we meet in the book are apex. Most of the males are soldiers and guards. Women are often treated as property or are otherwise marginalized. As a civilization, Gurge learns that they're not all that great. But the deeper he gets into the game, will their values start to change him? The answer is a resounding maybe. No spoilers. So I'm going to start highlighting the best names in these culture books as I go on with the rest of these videos. I thought for sure Ye Maristino was going to take the prize until I met the culture representative to the Empire, Shohobaham Za. That's fantastic. A side point, this book was written in 1988. And I would like to read this brief passage. Stories set in the culture in which things went wrong tended to start with humans losing or forgetting or deliberately leaving behind their terminal. It was a conventional opening, the equivalent of straying off the path in the wild woods in one age, or a car breaking down at night on a lonely road in another. A terminal, in the shape of a ring, button, bracelet, or pen, or whatever, was your link with everybody and everything else in the culture. With a terminal, you were never more than a question or a shout away from almost anything you wanted to know, or almost any help you could possibly need. There were, true, stories of people falling off cliffs and the terminal relaying their scream in time for a hub unit to switch to that terminal's camera, realize what was happening, and displace a drone to catch the faller in midair. There were other stories about terminals recording the severing of their owner's head from the body in an accident, and summoning a medical drone in time to save the brain, leaving the debodied person with no more a problem than finding ways to pass the months it took to grow a new body. A terminal was safety. So yeah, long before mobile devices were in everybody's pocket, Ian M. Banks is talking about terminals. Pretty cool. That's science fiction, though. Love it. The Adyrant War from Consider Phlebas is mentioned only briefly to make sure we understand that that was thousands of years ago, and we're not here to connect these books too seriously. These books are each pretty much standalones that take place in the same setting, not necessarily within any kind of similar time frame. All this is to say that this was an excellent second effort from Banks as far as the culture is concerned. While I was maybe a bit haunted by the ending for a day or two, it really stuck the landing in the best ways. So we're 2 for 2 with the culture so far, with use of weapons coming up next in the culture queue later this season. How did you enjoy the Player of Games? If you've enjoyed it. And I sure hope you have. And if not, you should. Is it true that use of weapons is even better? I mean, we'll find out, but what do you have to say? Let me know in the comments. Bye for now.